All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to another Relentless recap. This one's going to be quick, just a few trades to go over today. Small green day up 596.67, and ADGM, the main stock today. So just to get into this one, talk a little bit about it and the setups and patterns that came, where I was able to capitalize. That way, heading into this extended weekend, we'll have a little bit of a break here and a chance to study up. So remember, tomorrow is Good Friday. Markets are closed. So ADGM started off fairly well. It ended up halting up. We've been seeing a lot of stocks halt up to start a push. And from there, we went from 118 to a high of 148. We then pulled back all the way to 108, so massive range. I think I came around 945, so right around this green candle here is when I pulled up the stock. And honestly, I was not quite impressed right away. In fact, I was thinking this was not going to be the stock of the day, and so I didn't really give it my full undivided attention. I was still looking at other stocks like DXF, etc., right, and so forth. But however, this thing did break out of its channel and it ripped over 150, and it ripped over aggressively. So lows around 32, and then the high ended up being 77. So that was a massive breakout right there, and then halting up 184. So it was right around this resumption is where I came back and said, okay, this thing is moving, this thing is strong, time to lock in, time to get going. So I'll pull up a 10-second chart here for us to really deep dive into it. All right, so we had resumption and it did pretty well, right? So from 184 we opened at 207, so pretty big gap up, and this is where things kind of started off, right? It's saying the low of this candle here was 190. I don't remember if we dipped down initially or if we had like a magic wick. But anyhow, we had a push all the way to 226. Lows were about 210, 207. And then we had a push up to 251. I caught two trades in around like 11, out around 16, 17. Not quite getting the full extent of the range. And over the highs, we didn't really get to capture this bigger green candle here. So this happened at 10:03. If we were to check our logs at 10:03, I don't believe we captured this trade here very well. So we're gonna reset, come on down. So 03, we're in at 15. So again, in at 15, out at 22. Didn't really quite get to have my fingers wrapped around. So, you can say I tried here at 30, break of 30 I tried. And this was one of the trades that was, really frustrating. And a bit of a scratch trade here at 29. So I essentially missed the bigger move all the way up to 50 in that one push. So coming back to the scans here, let's see, we had a pullback with a low of 21 and then 16. So we pulled back quite a bit, and in this trade down, I got long at I think 22. I was in a little high. We had a low 16 and I crawled back up. And right here, this was a nice opportunity. So back over 238, we pushed up to 250. In this area, I did do a much better job capturing, which was nice. So let's see if we come back to the chart here. I think a lot of this stock really came down to sizing and then just being relentless in getting in on these entries. For example, double bottoms like this here at 16. Buying the moment it comes down and being quick about it. This dip right here was pretty significant as well, where we broke down below 16, reclaimed, and then the 1-minute candle to make a new high right here took off, man. This one was crazy. That is a 10-14. So let's see if we caught some trades in this candle here. So we're in at 18. It looks like I held a little longer, in at 18, out at 30. Out at 23, so I sold half a little early here, which was not good. So we had, let's see, 1,000 shares. Hold up, hold up. I think we might have had more shares. Did we? 3,000. So we came out 3,000, 2,000, out 2,000, in 2,000. And okay, looks like we sold 1,000, 38, and then another couple hundred shares. So I might have had 3,000. This looks like another 1,000 shares here. Yeah, so we sold another 1,000 up at 52 and 54. So we did a great job capturing this breakdown and reclaim right here. Absolutely beautiful move. But these areas like this are a little tricky because now we have a higher flag right below high of day, and we didn't quite get candles that close above the high. And this does indicate that we might come back down. And so, to avoid losses like this is pretty key, I think. Small win 45 to 48, but you can see 53 out at 50, 43 out at 41, 41 out at 39, and then 43 out at 36. Took too many losses right here, trying to get that extra move up. But again, we didn't close above the highs, which is a good sign that we might need another pullback. And so we did pull back, and we pulled back into previous support right down here above the trend line. And then we curled back up nicely before coming down. So it was a little tough right there. It broke down quite a bit. And it wasn't up until later, around 11 a.m. is where we curled back up. And at this point, I'm looking to shut it down, not really looking to trade aggressively. So we missed this first push. However, we did capture something small right here into this candle at 11:09 on the bull flag here. First 1-minute candle made the new high. And then over this bit of a wedge, this longer elongated pullback here, we captured something small again. But then right as quickly as we went up, this thing came down and took the stairs to go up and the elevator to come down. I mean, just look at how many candles right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 candles almost. And then just 1, 2 candles to get back all the gains. And that's part of the trick here with the small caps, is to avoid these bigger losses. So quite brutal right there. And, kind of tough. I was in at 70, right at these lows in here, and stopped out around mid-60s. Got out quickly, luckily, but sometimes you can get caught in these moves, and if you do, you got to cut the trade, move on, live to fight another day, because sometimes you just don't know if these stocks will curl back up. And, this one did not, right? It got down there to 150, 140. So you got to be very careful trying to hold positions like this. But yeah, that was pretty much the day. We did lose a little bit on DXF. Just pretty sad that this one did not hold up. We had a nice breakout here over the highs. You guys will see a bit of an ABCDW pattern here. Right, I can draw it up here for visualization. Bit of an ABCD pattern. All right, we got our W, which then leads into a bit of a cup and handle / wedge / flag right here. And so the moment we broke above this trend line right here, I was like, yes, let's see if we can now hold up and continue in the move. I'm long right here, and I'm out in the middle of this candle taking a massive loss, $300. Very disappointing. But all in all, decent day. I think we could have done with a little bit more size, but after a red day yesterday, we're like, hey, the aim is to just be green. And the biggest thing that we wanted to focus on was not getting aggressive too quickly, but instead building up a day slowly. And so, it's like taking a step back to take a step forward, because we do know what, when you're using full size and a stock is strong, you can capitalize right away. But, sometimes it's best to just play it slow and steady and then go from there. And I have these aligners in, so I sound, not as clear. The lisp kind of sound is there, but we're pushing through. We're pushing through. Right now, my teeth is cooked, man. You know what? I went through the aligner process with Smile Direct already, and my teeth was like perfectly straight. Now what happened is that they went out of business before I could get my retainers, and I lost the last set, funny enough, on a team house a while back. They say to never put them in tissue because you can throw it out by accident. That's exactly what happened. I should have took the case with me. And what I didn't do, which I think was the biggest thing, so at the end of the day in these situations, you got just like the market, right? You got to ask yourself, look at what happened, and then ask yourself, what could you have done better? What did you not do a good job of? And for me, that was not trying to find another company right away to get retainers to protect my investment. I don't know why I thought my teeth was just going to stay the same. But, it's almost like when you build a tunnel into a mountain. It's like the shape of that mountain is trying to like regain its form, and your teeth just naturally go back the position it was in. So you kind of have to have the retainers to use at night or whatever. And I didn't do that. So, waste of money is how I look at it, because we should never be in this situation. But company going out of business, and I paid up front for everything, so kind of got ripped off a little bit. But still, at the end of the day, I got to take some blame. Just like with the market, when you don't do well, you got to also see where you went wrong, take some blame, and see how you can improve for next time. So hopefully this helps out you guys, and this is exactly why we post recaps, to help out you guys from making similar mistakes and see what we're doing. That way you guys can also get a bit of an advantage here in the community, right? So hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We got the Team House vlog dropping tomorrow at 11 a.m., so stay tuned for that. Check out the links down below for the scanners. And on Sunday, we have a success story coming out. All right, stay safe, stay green. It's been Relentless Trader, and I'll catch you guys later.